So today I'm going to go over a step-by-step routine to improve your spinal mobility and strength. So if you didn't see my last video on the spine and mobility and strength, click over here to take a look at the video. But today we're going to look over a very simple concept of using a band for your training regimen for your spine to increase mobility and increase strength. People oftentimes will use different weights, movements, and dumbbells and bands and other sort of devices to really go and exercise. It's really a preferential point for a lot of people. Some people like to use different machines, some people don't, and others like to use bands and weights, for example. The thing with a band is it's a very simple, basic resistance way that you can create and also safely create resistance in your regimen. It's very inexpensive. You could find these bands on, again, like on Amazon or anywhere, your local stores that sell athletics gear, etc. And the bands allow you to safely do the exercises without really worrying too much about form that you might lose by trying out for the first time. Look, the reality is that when you first start doing exercise, you're going to make a mistake doing so. So if you're at a gym or you're at a CrossFit activity or F45 or something like that and you make a mistake, you could hurt yourself. So that's where you need a lot more instruction. But if you're at home and you want to do something on your own and you want to make sure you feel you're safe and you want to augment or add to the program you're doing, a TheraBand or a band is essential. And I'm going to show you today a bunch of different exercises to do in a step-by-step sequence so you can incorporate them in your daily routine for the spine. Again, the spine is a super important aspect of your health because a spine that has mobility and strength, which is stability for your body, is a centerpiece of keeping your extremities, like your legs and your arms and your neck and your head, in a right alignment and right movement so you can continue on. As you walk and do your activities every single day, your spine is there to be your friend, to support you like a structure that is unbreakable. And when the spine starts to become weaker and starts to become immobile, it starts to create pain and dysfunction that ultimately stops people from moving. So we want to limit all of that. And again, you want to be able to look at the spine as a step-by-step sequence of improvement. Sometimes jumping to something very far advanced because it looks really good can create a problem in the future. And sometimes doing something too little where you're just doing a simple exercise and not really advancing it is not good either. So we want to find a way of making sure that you safely step-by-step move through the process with a band exercise. All right, so here's the first exercise for you. Remember, the resistance band is something that you technically really at home or even in a table situation, you don't want to put the band around your spine, right? You want to find different parts of your body to create resistance so you can challenge your spine. That's what we're going to do with the resistance band. The first exercise we did in the last episode was where we actually had our legs in this position like this, and we were raising our legs upward. Now, when you're doing a resistance band here, and this band is pretty light for me, what you want to do is you want to contract muscles and keep muscles that are kind of helping out you move your spine and your core. You want to almost take them out of the game, right? And how do you do that? The best way of doing that is co-contracting them, right? So right now, as I have the band in my legs like this, I got the muscles in my hips right here, these muscles contracting. I got a little tension coming in through the inside, not much. I got my glute muscles back here, they're contracting a bit. And overall, my stomach and everything else around my spine is a little contracted, a little tense, right? So now I've taken all these muscles and added a little resistance to it. So now they're firing, right? The nerves are firing, the muscles are firing, and it's a great time. They're stable. Now it's a great time to challenge the stomach and the spine. So in this exercise position right here, you could flatten your back, keep your chin tucked as you have your back contracted, and you raise up. As you're raising up with this band, you're gonna pull the band outward, right? So you're pushing up and out, up and out. Remember your breathing again. As you're doing this, you could literally just pull your legs outward a little bit to create the intensity of it. You know, just make sure you have the band in the right position. You could hold it like that, right? So as you're here, you're just kind of contracting your core, okay? And you have resistance through your sides, side muscles, your core. Your lower back is flat, so you're getting a little contraction in your lower back. Make sure that lower back is flat. Don't let it arch up. Keep it flat. And then you're coming back down. All of it's slow. Again, you're gonna exhale as you're coming up and you're gonna inhale as you're going back down. So that's one simple variation of that particular exercise to do. And again, we talked about this before. You could literally bring that weight and that band all the way down to that, lower down like that, and you come up a little higher from there. It's a lot more distance to carry from it with the band, but you're kind of coming up and bringing it down from the same position as before, but a little bit further out with your knees being further away from your body. So very similarly, while you have the band in this position, you can always rest for a moment, take your breaks. And once you go back into the exercise, you have the band again here. And a simple thing to do to advance this exercise is simply just raise your legs up like that and just try to take your arms through here and try to push them through, right? As you're doing this, you're trying to get your legs as further out as possible here and get these muscles contracted. And as you're coming forward, you're actually getting this muscle to contract here. It's kind of an advanced exercise for people, but you're just essentially taking your arms and trying to push it through your legs. The trick with this one is people oftentimes will do this, right? They're gonna take their head and dart it out. You don't want that. You wanna keep your chin as tucked in as possible, and you wanna almost go in like this. So if I were to take my head and my chin, tuck it in, and my arms here, it's almost like I'm leading my eyes and my arms through this little window between my legs. And as you're doing that, you'll feel the core muscles contract here. As your legs are out here, you'll feel these muscles contract there, even a little bit in your back. And you're just trying to keep it stable, right? So, you're trying to make sure that this whole thing stays this way and your stomach contracts, and you're just trying to get that contraction in. Now, as you're doing this, your spine and your back is gonna flatten out, and you wanna make sure it's not arched and flat. And again, if any of this stuff creates any discomfort or pain or is too hard, don't do it, right? This is more of an advanced technique used in a band, creating resistance. So you're taking this band, you're making the resistance through here, you're putting these muscles in the game. Now you're contracting this muscle. So everything that's happening is gonna strain the muscles or work the muscles all together at one time. And sometimes when you have pain and discomfort, that's too much. So you don't wanna go too much with that, right? So again, we've talked about angling it in different ways. You could do this to the side, and you can get that kind of contraction. Again, this is a core exercise for the front, and this is not a great exercise to do when you're in pain, obviously, because your back is already hurting. So by doing this motion, you may create a little discomfort in the back there. So that's why it's important to flatten your back and go back to the last video I made and look at really how it's done the proper way, understand that very well, and then incorporate the band. All right, so now you have the band here, you took it off your legs and you're saying, great, so what do we do here? When you incorporate your arms and you push them out particularly, what happens is you're creating a lot of contractions of the muscles in your lats and in your arms. So these arm muscles, as they're contracting, they're providing resistance. So you could literally have your arms in resistance here. You might say, well, this is an arm exercise. Yeah, sure it is. You're gonna feel it in your arms, but if you incorporate your spine into this, this becomes a spinal exercise as well. So here I am just taking this band, going up and down with it. It could be from here, it could be from here. You can even hold it in one spot. And as I'm doing this band exercise and moving it through my arms, I start to incorporate my spine, right? Very simple. One leg at a time. And you notice like I'm doing this with a pattern, right? And it's not important to do it as a pattern. You could literally reverse the pattern and do it the other way, right? You see that? That's different. You could do both legs as well. You could do it the other way where you're going out. Now, I'm giving you all these variations here of this exercise that incorporates the band up here. But what's really important about this exercise is that you have to coordinate the exercise I gave you before by flattening your back, breathing, making sure your core is contracting, making sure your back is stable, making sure you're moving your legs all at the same time as you're moving your arms. So if you think about it from a functional standpoint, when we move to get up or turn, we're not block, meaning that we don't just go. We move in a coherent motion, in a tandem motion with other parts of your body. Your spine contracts, at the same time your arms contract, your legs contract. So when you start to incorporate exercises, this is resistance band, obviously. As you start resisting and creating strength, you're training your body to do things that are functional, right? You're training your body to lift and move in a functional way. And by training it that way, it's more functional and allows you to do the activities of your daily living better. And the coordination aspect of this, your muscles coordinating with your brain, brain, your nerves, your movement. This is a very, very important part of exercise, because what's the purpose of doing the exercises in creating stability and strength and mobility in your spine unless you could use your spine well and free of discomfort and pain? So this is how you start to create coordination between your spine, your arms, and your legs. And frankly, this is a very valuable exercise to do if you could just take the movement and resistance and coordination and mobility and strength. You incorporate all of it, and you know, there's a multitude of ways of doing this, right? This is gonna be harder in coordination than the other one, right? Because now we're incorporating rotation of the spine. So this is a very valuable exercise to do, and you will feel it in your arms, and that's the first thing you'll think about. But as you're feeling it in your arms and you're working your arms and you feel all that, you have to make sure your core is working, you have to make sure your back is flat and your spine is doing it and there's no discomfort, right? So practice those exercises, it's gonna be very helpful for you. I'm Dr. Vinod. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification buttons for further videos. I'll see you next time.